coming up next.
The future of forensics pathology will forever be changed due to a recent tragic event. Stay tuned to find out what that might be.
And one class in Penn Trafford is preparing for a fun semester. Stay tuned to find out what makes this class so exciting.
All this and more on today's episode of Wake Up Warriors.
Live from Penn Trafford High School. This is Wake Up Warriors. Wake Up Warriors starts now.
Good morning, Penn Trafford, and welcome back to Wake Up Warriors. Today is Friday, January 20th. I'm TJ.
And I'm Phelan. Today we start the show with a closer look at a crime that has swept the nation.
Because of the recent tragic events of the Idaho murders, forensics will shift from looking at minute details to DNA and statistical data. We sent out reporter Nicolina Ferrero to learn more.
So many new details in the murders of 4 University of Idaho students.
A major break in the investigation into the murders of 4 Idaho college students.
Chilling posts, it says, are from the Idaho murder suspect.
Because of a single case, the curriculum that a forensics pathologist would take in college will be changed due to the ever-growing need for data. I sat down with forensics teacher, Mr. Rocco, to learn more about the case and how this can affect a student.
Why does this case matter? This isn't like the only case like this in the world. Sort of the tight-lipped nature of law enforcement on this. Law enforcement, from where I sit, I think have done a wonderful job. I mean, local police and authorities and the FBI tipping their hand and not saying anything, as opposed to you look a year ago where there was so much public information, which I think led to a pretty unorganized and unfortunate investigation.
The reason why this is such a major case is not only the way the police are handling it, but because the supposed assailant is a criminology and psychology student, but he's also a Pennsylvanian, which is why the case is often talked about.
The organized fashion with which they used cell phone information. In the case of Adnan Syed, I think the public saw the power of phone records. And this case is 100% about that. They've done a really good job of connecting cell phone data with the whereabouts of the victims. As far as the suspect, I think that the suspect sort of intrigues the public because just of the way the one eyewitness sort of saw him at the scene. Just yesterday, we get information that the suspect was trolling one of the victims on Instagram just hours prior to the homicides. And I think what you'll see going forward with this is that there's going to be not a lot of information that's going to come out. I mean, we have a preliminary hearing that is scheduled for June. The suspect in the case has waived his right to a speedy trial.
The suspect and his attorneys now are able to spend more time trying to figure out if law enforcement did anything illegal in getting evidence.
We'll find out in June as they unlock some of this information. A lot of it's going to be awful to learn of. We know a little bit about the way these crimes occurred, and history tells us that crimes that occur in this fashion, they tend to be of somebody that has had a relationship with the victims. And if history serves us right, I think that's what we're going to find. Forensic investigation is no longer focused on hairs and fibers and all the little itty bitty stuff. It's now become a world of two things, and that is DNA and data. I know with respect to what we do in our class, it's going to change our curriculum immensely. There's going to be more focus on DNA. There's going to be more focus on data, the usage of that data, statistical analysis, because that's the future of forensic science and the future of crime scene investigation.
This has been Nicolina Ferrero reporting for PTTV.
As we've reached the halfway point of the school year, students are switching over to their second semester classes, and Mrs. Sanoski's Fashion 2 classes have lots in store planned for the rest of the year. We sent reporter Brielle Snyder to see what they're stitching up for the new semester.
Part of the reason I took this class is because I wanted to get back into sewing, but what I hope to accomplish is to just get back in the habit of sewing and creating again. I took Fashion 1 last year and I had a lot of fun. And it introduced me to a new hobby, so I was like, oh, let's just keep going with this. We're working on we're researching a famous brand, so I did the famous plus-size brand, Lane Bryant. I wanted to just research a company that just includes diversity in, with people, body types, because I feel like body types aren't really talked about in fashion as much as they should be.
So I'm technically not in Fashion 2, I'm in independent study, but I did take Fashion 2 last year, and it was a lot of focusing on marketing and kind of the whole ideal of fashion and less on design. So it was more of window displays and color themes and stuff like that, and we do a lot of analyzing certain characteristics of like Met Galas and other formal and designer wear. We do a lot of projects, on-hand projects, like our final project is usually bucket hats and again the window display, which gives more technicality to what we did in Fashion 1. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed every fashion class I took here and I would recommend it to anyone.
This has been Brielle Snyder reporting for PTTV.
Club pictures for the yearbook will be taken this Thursday in the auditorium. If you are an active participant in a club, be sure to check the schedule that was emailed to you and report to the auditorium at the time your club is to be photographed. Please be prompt. There will not be any makeups. If you have any questions or concerns, contact Mrs. Thornton.
The PT Ski and Board Club is heading to Seven Springs on Friday, February 3rd. Add some fun to your Friday night and sign up for this trip with Senor Flynn in room 207 before first period. The last day to sign up for this trip is this Wednesday.
Talent comes in many forms, and Penn Trafford are some of the most talented students in our area. The media literacy interns will be showcasing these talents to the public in an upcoming talent show. We talked to Ryan Grabowski to learn more.
The media literacy class is planning a talent show right now. The date is to be determined, but it will probably be somewhere around February or March. We wanted to plan a talent show because it's a great opportunity for students to showcase their various talents, and it's a great form of entertainment for all ages. Right now, we're waiting for permission and a date to use the stage, and also we're on a talent search for grades 6 through 12. And we're just trying to figure out a way to organize those participants when they sign up.
While we're on the subject of media literacy, the class is also hosting a bingo night in March. Once again, our very own Lily Willis talked with Ryan Grabowski for more information on this upcoming event.
On March 2nd, the Penn Trafford Media Literacy team is going to have a bingo night because it's fun for the whole family and everyone can do it. We're looking at advertisements for the public and for people to donate. We're looking for food vendors. We're looking for a bingo caller, which is rumored to be Mason Tassadori, and how to display the game.
For the upcoming reveal of prizes, visit the Penn Trafford Instagram, or if you have any questions about this upcoming event, visit Mrs. Folk's room or talk to Ryan Grabowski.
Wondering what's going on in the night sky? Luckily, our very own Morgan Arlia has all the details for this edition of Astronomical Announcement with our Astronomy Club sponsor, Mr. Tusik.
What's up, PT? This is Mr. Tusik with your astronomical announcements. Retrograde is simply the motion of a planet going in the opposite direction they normally go. Planets normally move west to east across the sky, and that's when a planet slows down, turns around, walks back towards the east for a few months, stops again, and goes back in its normal path. Mars just finished retrograde and is now heading back in its normal path, which means as we approached Mars, it looked like Mars was slowing down because we are on an inner track and Mars is on an outer track. And as we passed Mars, it looked like it went behind us as we passed them. And now we're at the point where we're back to that same orientation we were the first time. The analogy would be, you're on the outside track, I'm on the inside track. I catch up to you in the race. You look like you're slowing down from my point of view, then I pass you and you go behind me. The cultural impact of retrograde is only for the people that enjoy astrology and worry about when a planet walks backwards. In ancient times, that meant a planet or a god was mad, and so you should sacrifice someone to make the god happy and send the planet back in its normal path. It used to be a bad omen, and when Mars was in retrograde, when the moon was in this house of this constellation, bad things possibly happened. Mercury retrogrades more often than any planet because it's on the inside track and takes 3 months to go around the sun, so you get about 4 retrogrades a year. Versus Mars, you might get 1 every 2 or 3 years.
Speaking of things that are out of this world, the esports team played a tough game against Parkland yesterday. We sent reporter Colin Connors to see how the game turned out.
Last night, our Warrior Esports League of Legends team had a tough game against Parkland. While they lost, they fought hard, with Landon Orlowski, as Fiora, leading the way with 4 kills. Come support our Warriors in the lab every Thursday.
Best of luck to the quiz team as they compete on Monday, January 23rd after school on Hometown High Q. The show will be broadcast on Saturday, February 11th at 11 a.m. on KDKA. Competitors include Kai Colby, Thomas Ferlino, McCarthy Poljak, and David Zigarovich.
Students attending the CWCTC tour on January 27th, please complete the form indicating which programs you would like to visit as soon as possible. On the 27th, report to the lobby outside the main office once homeroom attendance is taken. We will return in time for B lunch. Please wear closed-toed shoes.
Attention underclassmen, if you did not make your schedule for next school year, please log in to PowerSchool. Complete this by Monday. If you are having difficulty, the counselors will be conducting a makeup session on Monday morning for you to attend. Thank you for watching Wake Up Warriors. Please stand for the pledge of the flag. I'm TJ.
And I'm Phelan. Have a great day, PT.